You doing? I'm sorry, anyone live stream yet?
It's all right, no one's here, but it is recording.
Hey, sexy.
Sorry?
Yeah, these
Oh. How you doing, Ian?
Hey mate, I'm good. How are you going?
Very good, thank you. Got your audio going straight up today.
Unusual.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was loading up actually. It was really weird. The link doesn't work. It didn't work in your email. So
Oh, didn't it?
I think it happened last week too actually. I had to copy and paste it.
Yeah, right. That's weird. I've got no idea where that's up, mate. So, how's your weekend, mate? You're in Canberra? Didn't head down to Melbourne or anything again?
No, I had Pete Madden's wedding.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, how was that?
That was pretty good. It was pretty low key.
Yeah. Whereabouts did you have the? Do you have get married in a church or do you have it somewhere else?
He had a place called the Parlour Room.
Yeah,
Parlour
right.
Rooms in New Acton, right?
Yeah.
So just it's just a fancy tapas bar sort of thing. So
Yeah. Okay.
big shady tree outside, and then some gardens. So
Yeah.
that's where we went. Beer was all right. It was nice and cold.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Very good. Excellent.
Hey.
So, that other link I sent you to the Dropbox stuff, were you able, the 2019 stuff, were you able to access that?
So I was able to view stuff.
Yeah.
The first thing, it just opened in the web window.
Yeah, right. Well, I think I'll have to get a different Dropbox account. I might even talk to the committee and see if Activa can get one, and then you can have multiple users and have a lot more storage, and we can store all our Activa stuff on there. Yeah, because what you'll find is you'll get asked by a lot of the other committee to get people's contact numbers or details, and if they're all on Dropbox and everyone's got access to it, they can just jump on there and grab it themselves, kind of thing.
Sure.
So yeah. No, I heard something beep before, so I don't know if that was Graham trying to get on.
He's there, I think.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so we're just chatting away, mate. How are you, Graham?
Yeah, not bad.
That's
Flat
good.
out, but that's normal.
Flat out. All right, well, I'm going to keep this one to 40 minutes tonight. So, the main thing I want to do is just go through Eventbrite and set up the Masters doubles. And I'll quickly just show you the calendar, because that's something, like I say, over the next month or so we're going to work on and hopefully get a draft calendar out in November to get comments from the rest of the association. So I'll have a quick look at that, but the main thing is Eventbrite. So I'm pretty sure I sent you guys access to it. And it's pretty easy these days to just copy a previous event, because I've basically run every event now through Eventbrite. So once you log in, you just go down to, this is doing something really weird. Sorry. How do I get rid of that? Sorry. For some reason, when I go to the drop down, it disappears when I go to drag down to it. You just go to manage events. And I assume neither of you have used Eventbrite before.
I've just had a click around some of the events that you've done in there, but I haven't set anything up.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, ditto for me.
Yep. So yeah, you go to this page there, and my events, and it'll come up with any current events, which there's none at the moment. You just change this filter here to past, and you'll see all the previous events. And so, yeah, when you've got live events, you'll basically see whatever that comes up. So now the Masters Doubles is an event that's never been run, but I thought that would run it. Basically, it's subject to numbers. I don't know how many players we're going to get. So I think we'll run it like the Open Doubles and just have a double elimination knockout if there's less than 20 players. It's scheduled to go over 2 days on the 2nd and 3rd of November. So, yeah, normally what you do is you just go to whatever the previous year's event was. So in this instance, I'm going to use the doubles, the Open Doubles. And if you click on these options and go to copy event. So this is all pretty self-explanatory. I taught myself on this pretty actually this has changed a little bit since I used it last. Yeah, I basically taught myself how to use this, and it came pretty easy. So obviously you change the name to what it is. And click. So this bit's actually new. All the screen looks different anyway, so I might get a little bit lost here, but anyway. So it's scheduled for the Saturday the 2nd to Sunday the 3rd of November. And I think by look, this is new on the left-hand side here, but it looks like you can choose what you copy. But at this stage, I'll just copy the whole thing. So it doesn't publish anything until you actually click publish at the end. So then each event has a dashboard, which looks like this. And you've got the various options to edit the event on the left-hand side, all the settings. The design is just how it actually looks on the when you publish it. And the edit is actually editing the finer details of it, which we'll do now. So location, if you know that, I just put down Canberra if it's an event that's run over multiple venues. But in this instance, it'll be at the Harmony German Club. That should come up, I thought. But anyway, it's not. Actually, I'll reset the location. That's probably the best thing to do. Harmony German Club. It's got the dates. You can change this logo if you want, but I don't worry about that anymore. I'll just choose one from that we used last time. So it's just adjust it or remove it. Now these are the event description is what the people see. So I'm just going to change. So most of the time, all you need, if you're copying an event and it's the exact same event for them from the previous year, all you really need to do is change the dates. That's all you have to do. But in this instance, it's a new event. So I'm just looking at what's the best. So conditions of entry should be, that's going to be a little bit different as well. Anyway, I'll just go double elimination. Subject to entries. I think in the format I'll just put race to 5 in earlier rounds, increasing in later rounds. I don't know if anyone actually reads this stuff because I used to always get questions. They'll enter something, but then they'll ask questions, and even though most of the information is available. Registrations via Eventbrite, open to ACT members. venue. We've got that already. Seeds. How do you reckon we do the seeds? Obviously, we can't base it on the last 2 years of doubles, Masters doubles. What do you guys suggest?
Well, I don't know. It's because it might just be teams that have never played together before, right?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the way it currently works in open doubles is you use the doubles points from each individual player, regardless if they played together the previous year. So I guess we can either use the open doubles rankings, or we could just use the individual players' overall rankings and combine them to work out then the top 8 seeds.
So would we use the open rankings, or would we use the Masters?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about the Masters rankings. So, yeah, that's a good point. So, in the Masters rankings currently, there's open doubles in there. So maybe we should just use the open doubles rankings the same way as we do in our actual open doubles. And then obviously after this event's run for 2 years, we'll use the Masters doubles. How does that sound?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah. All right. So see, based on last 2 years open doubles results, $15 entry fee plus admin. That's all fine. Play commences 11 a.m. where possible. Vary rounds. So I can get rid of this. So entries close.
Sorry, so that first bit though, that play commences, that all needs to change. That's for round robin.
Yeah, right. So I'll move that. No, entries close Thursday, 8th of July. So it doesn't take long to do the if the format does end up. But I couldn't imagine. Well, there's typically about 30 Masters singles players, so I think would maybe get, I reckon, between 10 and 20 pairs. I'd imagine. So I'm pretty confident we'll be able to use pool stat and have it as a double elimination knockout. So we could probably close, depending on what, close the entries on the Tuesday before, which is the 29th of November. Actually, where am I? So I'm just looking on the other screen. So the 29th of October, sorry, which is just after I get back from Nationals. So that's a Tuesday night. You guys seem to be pretty suited for a Tuesday night to do things. Is that still the case? Or you don't know this far out?
The 29th just happens to be my birthday, that's all.
All right. We won't do it then. What about...
It can just be like the day after. Or...
Yeah, the day after is when... well, we can even do it on possibly the Thursday, because if it's a double elimination knockout, everyone plays. We don't have to notify venues or anything like that, so we can leave it right until the last minute. We just need to let the first 6 matches know. So maybe we do it on the Thursday the 31st. Do you play snooker or anything on Thursdays, Ian?
No, mate.
No? And what about you, Graham? You don't have anything in the calendar at this stage for the 31st? Because Wednesday the 30th is champion and champion. So I will be playing in that. I'm not sure if you guys are or not. But so, yeah, Thursday the 31st. Does that work for now?
Yep.
Yep. So we'll close it at 6 p.m. and then we'll probably, do this at like 7:30 or something like that. Personal information, I'll leave that comment there about the personal information. This is just a general conditions of entry. Based on the expected number of players, the tournament director reserve the rights. That's all the same. These are taken strictly from last 2 years' results of open doubles. Yep. Entries are accepted under the provision of the entrants agree to abide by the directions made of the tournament director and their decisions are final. The draw will be emailed to all competitors and provide an email address. Yeah, so that's just all general stuff I don't think we need to change.
Do we need to say the age limits?
Sorry, what was that?
The age limits.
Oh, yes. I'll do that up here. I'm just trying to think what's the... You have to be... For the Masters singles and the trials, you have to be 50 at time of playing, I believe, is the bylaw. So I guess that's the same for this. Something like that. Players must be 50 years of age or over at the time of the event is played. Some of the nation knockouts, subject to entries, race to 5 in early rounds. That's kind of the same thing. Actually, I might just put that down here.
Do you think there will be a concern like there was with the ladies about how it didn't increase very much?
Possibly. It just depends. Like, there's the open doubles, for example, with 20 players, goes all day, both days. Like, we didn't finish till about 9 o'clock this year in the open doubles, but that's because me and Dean won. We had to beat JT and Ronnie twice, and we beat him in the first match. So I think it started a race to 5 in the open doubles and increased to, I think, it was only a race to 7 in the final, I think, from memory. Yeah, it was. So I think we keep it a race to 5 and then maybe in the quarterfinals increase it to a race to 6. The semi-finals and finals maybe a race to 7. It's all subject to the entries, I guess.
Yeah.
So we can leave that up in the air for now. But let's make the comment that race to 5 in the earlier rounds, increasing later on, leaves it a bit vague and open. So yeah, that's in that description is just what the event's about. You can put as much or as little as you want in there. You can change the headings and the way it looks and have bullets and things like that and pictures. But again, it's just really editing what's been done previously. But you're welcome to change it however you want. The reason there's 2 organisers here is because one set up as me, only because I ran the King's Cup through Eventbrite. So basically, by selecting Activa, it means the payments go to the Activa account. So yeah, don't select me. Organisers.
Unless you want a Christmas bonus.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But so now I'll have to change. I think in the settings of Eventbrite, the Activa organiser is under me. I don't think I can actually change it right here. So I'll change that in a second to have you guys there. Are you guys comfortable having your phone numbers there, or do you just want me to put the email address there?
I'm happy to have my phone number there. Like, normally if it's a number I don't know, I ignore it, and then they can just leave a voicemail.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yep, no problems. All right, well, that's fine. I'll change that in the other page in a minute. So this is the tickets. This is probably the hardest part of it, especially for a winter and summer season, because there's obviously a shitload of tickets. But there's 3 different types of tickets. Obviously, a free ticket, a paid ticket, and a donation. So you got the ticket name, which I'll just change that to Masters doubles entry. Quantity, you don't have to put something there, I don't think, unless you have got a limit, like the open singles, that's 96. So I'll put 50 for now. That allows 25 pairs. The price is 15. And if you click on the cog, it goes to the settings. So you can add a description underneath explaining in more detail, which is not required. The sales channel, that's the option. You can have it, people pay or get the tickets at the door. This is an option to absorb the fees or pay the fee. The entrants pay the fees. So on the excuse me, on the Wednesday night, you select absorb fees because we cover the fees. In this instance, we're going to pass it on. So the cost is $16.91. The ticket sales, we can set that to start today, and it's going to end on the 31st at 6 p.m. Excuse us, I'm just going to have a drink. So ask any questions while we're going if you want. You can allow how many tickets each person can get. I did actually set that to 1, but I know a lot of the time, especially in doubles, that a partner will buy both tickets. So I'll just leave that as 5. So that's all the settings. And if you wanted to add different options, you just click on the plus next to which ticket you're doing. You don't need to change the where we're doing it. We're in Australia. We're not registered for GST. Refund policy, I always set it for 1 day because most of the time, if someone pulls out, we refund the money, even if it's the day before. Most of the time, they've got a legitimate reason. This additional settings is just basically some security stuff and how public or private it is. I set it to private because obviously it's only open to active members. If you set it to public, basically I think it shows up on the Eventbrite website. Yeah, it says here discoverable by anyone on the Eventbrite. So let's leave that as private. You can tick to show how many tickets are available, but we don't need to do that. So at this point, there's only a couple other things we're going to do. You can make it live at this point, but because it's not finished, I usually just click save. And I'll just double check how it looks before I actually publish it. But I just want to change the organisers. Here we go. About the organiser. Who wants to go first? Whose name's first? Because that's who they'll probably call.
Well, doesn't matter.
All right.
Order.
Flip the coin.
What's your number, Graham?
0407 485 776.
And yours, Ian?
0439
Yep.
060 894.
I might move this up a little bit. Something like that. So I won't go through these background settings. It's something you don't really need to change. How do I save that? Save. So now if I go back to events, should be in draft. I was going to do the king. I should delete that one. I can't delete it. All right. So now the only thing to do is just check the payment details and how it basically sends them a ticket. So we've selected Activa, so that's Activa's account. The payout schedule, the way it's set at the moment is the 1st and the 15th of each month, we get paid whatever fees have been or entries have been taken at that point. You can set it to pay it all at the end of the event, but this way we get the funds coming through quicker. So I'll leave that. Order options. The order form is how you collect the information, which is from each attendee. There's different options, so you can have a buyer or an attendee. Masters doubles, and these are the information to collect, which is there's some stuff like the first name, surname, email address, and shipping address, I think it is, and the card info. You have to have them selected. So I don't normally change any of this unless there's some custom questions in the bottom here, and one of them is who is your doubles partner. So I'll leave that one ticked. This other one is for the singles, which I don't use. So you can add whatever questions or whatever information you want to collect here, and just turn it on or off. And you can have it include, and you can have it as a required question. Group registration, I haven't really got my head around that or how useful that might be. This is additional stuff that I don't. Instruction for attendee, so I don't need that. Give them 15 minutes to complete it. And this is just a message after the tickets are complete, if they try to do it. If you'd like to enter, please contact. I'll just put the email address there for now, I'll do. Allow attendees to edit information so they can actually go in and edit stuff if they want. If they change doubles partner or something like that, they can do that. So I'll save that. So that's how you basically collect the information. Order confirmation is just how the person that has bought the ticket receives it. Thank you for the entries in the 2019 Activa Masters Double Championships. A copy of entry further refreshed and recorded.
Bloody everywhere.
I know. I don't have to do this again, thank God. I always forget to do that. So on that initial dashboard or that with their description, I normally copy and paste it into the email. So basically they get a copy of it on their email. So I'll just save this and I'll go back and copy and paste it in. And yeah, sometimes this is really slow too, by the way. To load, wasn't too bad to send. So let's copy. Copy that, and then go to manage. Edit. Sorry. Order options, order confirmation. Go down here. Paste it in there. include printable tickets. Don't need to use that. So really that's it. I'll just quickly save that and then have a look at the preview. Master doubles. The date, which is correct. I might actually change that date to a little bit earlier because I think we ended up starting the open doubles a bit earlier because it is a long weekend. As it was organised, it's got your details on the bottom. So that all looks pretty good. Cool. Let's close that. Let's change this to 10. And save it. So yeah, that's really about it. Now you just click publish, and all that does is just makes it live and creates a link, which we'll do in a sec. And you can link it to Facebook, which I've looked at. So if you get time, have a look at that. You can integrate it somehow. And then the dashboard will have the list of the sales. And this is where I go to quickly get information about how many entries there are and stuff like that. There's an app which is different to this desktop version, which is quite handy just to have a quick look at just if someone asks you if they've entered or not, which you'll find a fair bit. And you can do reports, but I won't go through that at this stage. I'll go through that once it closes, and we need that information for the draw. So down the bottom here, it'll have the event URL. So it's a matter of copying that and pasting it on Facebook, emailing it out, and we'll get 10 minutes, and posting it on the website. So if you guys can do that sometime over the next couple of days, if you get a chance, just to publish that. But yeah, it's just copying this link here. It's all live now, and the registration, they'll basically start coming in straight away. You got any questions regarding that at this stage?
Should be good.
So yeah, there's other stuff that I've never really played around with. I know you guys are busy as well, but feel free to look at any of it and see if there's any other useful tools. But as far as integrating or working with a treasurer, it makes their life heaps easier and makes it easier to get entries and get them to pay at the same time. So that's basically that. So if you guys can publish that. Now quickly onto the calendar. This is just something I basically want to get feedback from you guys, and when you get the time over the next few weeks, have a look at it. I've updated, it's just in an Excel spreadsheet at the moment, and I've got this link to a CSV file, which is a different format of Excel, which you can then import straight into the Google Calendar, which is linked to the website. So, but at this stage, normally I publish it in this style here, and you guys are welcome to change it. However, if you've got an easier or better way of doing this, go for it. But if you just want to use this template, feel free. You would have seen it in previous years. I've already updated the dates according to 2020. I've already updated the public holidays to what's happening next year. And I've already just had a quick look this afternoon at other events around Australia. The ones in red aren't finalised, which it says at the bottom. But they're dates that most of these events are on the identical weekend every year. But a couple of them, like this Fraser Coast one, sometimes changes. The ones in black I've already finalised, except for the Activa ones, like the State of Origin. This is weekend events, by the way, obviously. So that can be moved around however we still feel free. I've also made yellow the long weekends So the idea, and this is the hard thing, is any of this trials event, we try to avoid long weekends, and we try to avoid clashing with any of the other major events in Australia as well, especially the big ones like Geelong, Albury, Big Guns, Anzac. Some of the minor ones, Kings Cup, that's the biggest event of ever, so we have to miss that one. World Championships, we try to avoid. We'll know by the time this is published if we've got any Activa members that are travelling to the Worlds. So usually you try to avoid their event if they're going to the Worlds. So there's a lot of things to consider. The trials events are just being left as what they were last year. The other trick is to try to keep them in consecutive weekends as well. Like here with the trials last year, we had it over 3 weekends and had a break because there was obviously a public holiday around that time. Can't remember what it was. What I guess from you guys is if you can have a play around with this and see if you can come up with a reasonably logical way that it spreads it out over the year, avoids the public holidays, and obviously the trials event have to be finished in a reasonable amount of time before the nationals. And once we get something reasonably close to what we think's right, we'll publish it and open up for comment. The State of Origin games I haven't confirmed yet, but I think next year they're all on Wednesday night. The other thing to do is work out when the season's going to start, and the idea is just to have it finished before the nationals, which it does. This season finishes next week, and the nationals start the week after. Then they're champion after that. So yeah, that's it's a bit of a trick, this one. Sometimes it takes a fair bit of time, but it just depends when all the other events are on, and we can't avoid all of them. And the other thing we need to try to avoid is the blackball stuff, because that's what we discussed and kind of agreed on when we denied the ACT Blackball Association merging with Activa. We offered that we'd consider their events in our calendar, but the thing is that they're not that organised, and the only event I talked to Phil Morton last night that we need to avoid is the Blackball Nationals next year, which is in May. I'll get the exact dates, but if we can try to avoid that for any trials events, that'll be helpful.
That's why there's that gap there for this year, isn't there? If that was a Blackball.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it may be.
I think it might have been an ACT event though, actually.
It might be. So basically, what Phil's going to do is once our calendar's published, he'll work his local events around our calendar. It's just the nationals and then the Worlds, which is in Geelong, I think it is, sometime next year. If we can avoid those 2 events, and the rest Phil will working with us. The other thing we need to do is try to get the information of these other events to confirm when they're on. So it's a matter of going on Facebook or trying to find the coordinator and sending a message and things like that. So I guess this is something we can all kind of work at and then maybe talk about it again soon. But if you've got ideas of how this would flow on, usually it's pretty consistent. And I usually try to get the trials out of the way as early as possible. The open trials is the longest event. Actually, the other thing is the open singles. We need to book that in with the German club basically now, because Paul books up 12 months in advance sometimes. So when and the consideration with that I've found in the past is to try to keep it as far away as possible as the Kings Cup, because they're both local events, our biggest local events. And if the first 2 years ago, I had them pretty close together, and they both had low numbers because people obviously couldn't take up 2 full weekends that close together. So anyway, that's something we can just work on over the next month or so. I'll work out, Ian, how to. Actually, I might just send you a copy of this.
If you can email me a version of it, that'll be fine.
Yep.
CSV, whatever. CSV is probably better.
Yep, cool. All right. So got 2 minutes.
Just if you do it as CSV, you won't be able to keep the colour formatting and stuff.
Yeah, right.
So if you keep it as Excel or whatever until just before we need to upload
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah. So I'll show you how to the other spreadsheet I've got set up as a CSV file. I think it was automated to a certain degree, but there's a bit of copy and paste in there as well to get it in the format that Google likes to import it. Anyway, I'll email this to Ian, and I'll probably post something in the next couple of days to the core committee to see if they're happy to pay for, or if Active is happy to pay for a Dropbox, like a business subscription, which gives multiple users plus more storage. And I think the whole committee or the core committee can use that for all our documents, and it can be where we store things. Yeah, I think that's about it, because then you can have access to everything. So at the moment, I think with Dropbox, you used to be able to share. I could easily share the whole thing, and I've got I think it was about 4 or 6 gigs of storage, and I'm still using a free account, but I've been using it for a very long time. So I don't know if that's the reason why, but they seem to be restricting the way you share it. They're trying to obviously get everyone to pay, which is fair enough. Anyway, I better wrap it up because it's saying I've got less than a minute left. So yeah, if you guys, one of you can publish that stuff for the Masters doubles on the website, Facebook, and email, that'd be great.
Yep.
Cool. I'll leave with this guy, and I'll send you a copy of this recording in a little while.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.